Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Eddie, and today I'm gonna make it like a quick commenting video about a video that I saw on YouTube that I thought was worth mentioning. It basically sums up this whole experience of fixing cars and getting a project car and working on it. Um, Getting a project car and fixing it is not the most economical and might be this most smartest option. I personally love it. I love getting an older car and bringing it back. I love restoring things. I don't know, just what I like to do. Hey, let me know. Maybe you don't agree with me. Let me know in the comments below. Maybe like, hey, no, I like to buy a brand new car, which I like to. I would love a M2 competition. I think that's beautiful package. That is, it's a BMW. Anyways, but yeah, I've drove those. They're fantastic. But anyways, this video is about this guy with J capital EMM on cars. He makes cool videos, and he's basically making a video about him restoring his 987 Cayman S that was burning oil. And it's quite long. It's 30 minutes. I'm not gonna put you through all of it. You can watch. I have a link for it. But I found a couple things that was interesting in it. So that's like the intro. We're gonna fast forward. And that he is. He's talking about the car that he brought. So
and that may be considering having work done themselves to show you exactly step by step the process that is involved to develop a rather worrying noise that when the
all right, so he's talking about the symptoms. Okay, so let's go back. What's the symptoms?
87.1 Cayman S,
There you go.
bought it for just over £4,000 with a diagnosed engine failure.
All right, so if I'm gonna get about something that is, I love that car. Okay, if I see it 987 and 4,000 pounds, how much is that in US dollars? I don't know, $10,000, something like that. I don't know. Um, I'm just throwing a number out there, which is basically saying it has a terminal failure. Basically, the engine is kaput. It doesn't work. The engine is broken, and you need to fix the engine. And so it's a project. So how would you go through that? First and foremost, I mean, I personally, as I said, can you spend $100,000 and get a nice Porsche? Absolutely, brand new. Yes, yeah, So you have the option of buying a brand new, or you have the option of buying it used, or you have the option of buying it like this. It didn't say the title is salvage. I don't know what's the UK's difference than here, but this vehicle has, let's just assume, and it's a clean title, but it's just non-running. It has a broken engine. So what would you do? Well, if you take it to the dealership, they're gonna charge you extensive amount of money, and I don't know how many people actually take it to the dealership to get the work done. I would take the Porsche to the Porsche dealership if it's something collectible and I want it to be mint and pristine. But this is not what this gentleman is doing here. He's planning to do his own modification, and it's gonna be his daily. So let's just forward it a little bit.
It still runs, it still drives, but it is rather smoky, particularly on startup, and after a little while does develop a rather worrying noise.
So basically, some of the car is burning oil. So we're talking about piston rings that are probably burning oil. You have some scorching on the wall, which he explains, and he talks about taking to the dealership, and then so you take to the shop, and it's at the shop right here, and let's see.
As we're doing what we're doing, we are going to be building a list of what stuff also needs sorting in that regard.
So once you take your car to the shop and they remove the engine, this is, I think, it's kind of another important step. Because at that point, the engine is out. Once you take the engine out, you take the transmission out, you have access to everything, almost everything in that car. And I think it's an excellent time to make your shopping list done. Because, I mean, unless you are going to, because some components only accessible as you remove the engine. So you might as well just get those parts that need to be replaced. It's you think just getting the car, you're done with it. Not really. You really need to get the car and have a list of things that you want to repair, but you only can do so once the engine is out. So you do really definitely need to find a shop that accommodates you with that regard. You can't find a shop that just wants to turn a quick buck and in and out. If you those guys don't have time for you, they're gonna take off the engine and say, "What do you want to get done?" Okay, I need this car off the lift. Next car has to come in. You need to find a shop that will work with you. So that's very important. Okay, so he found a shop that works for him, and they're helping him out.
But one of the first things that you need to know about disassembling any Porsche of this era is that after a few seasons of British weather and salt on the road,
I don't think that's specific just to Porsche, by the way. I mean, if you live in Canada, I'm pretty sure an F-150 taking apart the anything in that car will be rusty, right? Because just I just use an F-150. I'm just coming up with an example of any car, just rust. Snow and salt will create a lot of rust.
All of the exhaust systems tend to become one sort of rather big and joined up mess of metal.
Okay, he's just basically telling you about the rust. So now they're gonna take the see now they're looking at the
10
piston
past 10.
inside. So let's go here. All right, cool music.
And we have already had the definitive answer.
So what you saw them, like they're basically using the camera to look inside the engine. They take a spark plug, they put the camera in, and just basically to look inside.
This is a poorly Porsche. We've had a good look, and both cylinders 6 and 5 are showing very, very clear signs of bore scoring.
This is the bolt score, and he goes on to explain it to you in more details. But basically, you basically have friction, metal on metal, metal on metal, and you have friction, and you don't want that. You want the piston inside the engine to be protected by oil, and you don't have that anymore. So at that point, you're just getting metal on metal and getting a lot of heat, and you're burning oil. There's no solution to that. There's a lot of additives people buy that put in their engine just try to make it go by. From sea foam to God knows what. Nothing, none of that stuff works. Once your engine starts burning oil to that degree, it is done. It's just a matter of time. You just keep adding more oil, the progression of damage. I mean, this is very specific when you talk about piston 6 and whatnot. It's specific to 987, but other vehicle the same. If you have an inline 4 engine that does that, a V8, same thing. I mean, once you have metal on metal, what are you going to do? You got to take it apart. You got to take all the accessories off. You got to take off the engine. And in his case, you need to have a lift because he dropped the engine from the back. Um, yeah, it's a lot of work. So again, having a shop that would help you is extremely, extremely critical and important. There you go. The guy's working on it, draining fluids. Yeah, there's a lot of fluid to drain. And this reminds me of my friend Amar too, because if you're not familiar with the Toyota Amar 2, it's kind of the same layout as mid-engine. So you have all the cooling line go all the way from the front of the car all the way to the back of the car. You have like the hoses extend the length of the car. It's very difficult draining it and getting all the air bubbles out of it. It's a challenge.
So, ahead of dropping the engine out, Ash is now draining the car of its remaining fluids. But while he's doing that, I thought I'd show you something that I find quite interesting.
Here's going to show you the scoring what we talked about. See the piston, how it's all scored and scratched, and anyway, moving on. So he's going to take an angle grinder, and he's going to basically hack
Well, I'd like to say
into all the rusted parts.
and it cooperated, but it didn't. Now, the moment of truth. Time to separate car from engine.
Watching this it reminds me of I spend a lot of time in the shops, because I got a bunch of my cars built, and I go to like performance shop, and there's a lot of awesome cars there. So much eye candy. You're walking around the shop, and these guys are working, and uh, a lot of respect for them because they have to deal with people like me who are coming in, and we'll try to talk to them, and they're like, "Go." I mean, after a while, we become friends, and you spend some time there, but they're busy. They're busy people, man, and nothing ever goes according to plan. I mean, honestly, you from the most pristine car to the old beat up junker trying to fix it. There's always something that doesn't go according to plan, and God bless them, man. They put up a shift. Okay, music.
Well, there we have it.
There you go. They dropped the engine. Again, I'm surprised. I mean, obviously he's making a video, so they give him access. But most of the time, it's like, can you shush now? Because we all love watching this. I mean, honestly, every time I have my engine removed, I will walk. I'm like, I have to take a look at it, take pictures of it. It's like, ooh, wow. But looking at this, holy, I mean, this car, we don't have that in Southern California. We don't have this amount of corrosion. I see all the. This looks fairly dirty. My engine is looks way cleaner, but I think it's just nature, right? I mean, the environment you're driving in, and again, he's obviously once he's gonna be done with it, it's gonna look beautiful. But it's just you would think this came out from like, a car with 20, 25 years of usage, but it's not. So.
This is a 3.4 litre flat 6 M97 Porsche engine with 6-speed manual transmission.
You know, a fun fact: the transmission is right there. This is the differential, which is open diff. So the transmission is just that little I'm out right. This is literally is the transmission. I think that's fantastic. This is crazy engineering. I don't know how that works. But this is literally just the transmission right in there. This is the open differential, and then you have your flat six. And when you take off all the accessories, it's pretty small. It looks like a rotary almost. This is very pretty.
There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Haha, full metal jacket. That's
It's
awesome.
finally out of the car. Auxiliary is off. We're building up a pile
Okay.
of pieces that have come off the engine here.
Yeah, okay. That's why it's expensive. All that stuff that's been removed from your engine, where is it gonna go? It has to be labeled, have to put aside, and it's gonna take occupy space, and that's what's happening. Yep, takes a lot of space.
You're not really likely to beat this, and so we are going to be keeping it.
Oh, hold on. That's a good point he's bringing here. He's talking basically about should I modify the component, because once you take stuff apart, it's easily, especially for like a Porsche or like other cars that there's a lot of aftermarket support for it, to easily buy everything from the catalog. Like just get better manifold, better this. But he makes a great point where he doesn't need to, for example, upgrade the manifold. He said it's good, no need. So
Refreshing those, but to basically OE specification. One of the more controversial items that I've seen discussed in the forums, and a few people have emailed me too, is the inlet manifold. And now, I remind you, the people here at Harteg do a very good trade out of the fact that Porsche did get a few things wrong with their engineering, but they are also quick to praise the engineering that Porsche got right.
see, that's a very important point. Yes, sometimes manufacturers will skim on some parts, but not on every part. And there's no reason just to replace part just for the sake of replacing, unless again your budget is an infinite and he's just trying to build a car from a catalog. He made a great point.
And when it comes to stuff like the inlet manifold, as far as these guys are concerned, you're not really likely to beat this. And so we are going to be keeping it.
That's why I like this video, because it's actually being modified with reason. He mentioned that this car is going to be daily. He doesn't need, like, for example, lighter flywheel. He doesn't need all the extra component that most people will just buy because just click, purchase everything from the catalog. I want to have all the shiny parts. That's a smart build. That's basically what I did with my Miata, what I did with my Evo motor cars. That's what I did. I was like, it's not gonna be a track car. Individual throttle bodies. I would love to have them, but I mean, I don't need them.
As for the exhaust, though, I'm weighing up a few different
His exhaust is kaputs. I wouldn't even. That thing is never gonna go back in the car for no, absolutely not, mate. And then he talks about the transmission.
mid-engined, it's slightly differently laid out, but fundamentally, it's all still very much the same. One conversation that we have been having here.
You know about the transmission, which is cool. And then he talks about selecting parts. Then you get like some sponsorship, which is awesome. Okay, this is funny. Okay. All right, this is funny. Look, okay, when I saw this part, okay, this is removing the components, cute, whatever, I cool. But here, like, dude,
His job is done, and the engine has been handed over to the lovely Lee, the man with the golden hands and the lustrous beard. He is going to be disassembling this and getting rather up close and personal.
I look, this guy's working. And I'm telling him, I remember I told you the story when I'm working in the I'm working when I'm, visit this shop and I'm working on my car. I just have a feeling that he's not really like really appreciating his presence. Just leave him alone. Let the guys work. Let the guy work. I mean, I know he's making a video. I totally understand, and they probably have an agreement. But I just personally, I just felt like this guy's just trying to get work done.
With it, Lee, incidentally, some might know from the Porsche Engine Gurus Facebook group, where these things are often discussed in detail. And if you are
He's talking about forums again. Facebook groups, whatnot, meta groups, whatever. But
a geek and Porsche fan, it's a thing well worth joining. In any case, the first thing he's going to be looking at is the engine's timing to check whether it is present and correct.
okay, so he's talking about all the details, but I don't know. Yeah, I kind of would leave the guy work. Like, I don't want to be in this shop when he's doing all this work. Just leave him alone. Let them work. Because just any mistakes would just cost you more money. Because he's not, just let him work.
Now, they say you learn something new every day, and I'm learning a lot too.
he basically talked at that point about the he didn't know the water pump. His was metal, but the plastic one is better because the metal, I guess, not I guess, it actually eats into to
What's
the
the problem?
engine
Surely
block.
the metal one's really good. He said, no. The problem is, if there is anything wrong with this here and it isn't in the absolute perfect precision, it
Hmm.
will start to do what it's done here and take chunks out of the block.
Yeah, again, I see that, but again, it's very specific to this car. Again, you gotta take the engine apart. This is gonna be a service that's, he goes on talking, 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 which again, I think is a great video. Okay, it just shows you the scorching on
This
the wall.
was bore scoring.
See it right there. So, and then, so yeah, when you get to that point, yeah. So I like this video because it kind of reminds you a little what I went through with my car, but I wasn't around making the video. I would love to have made the videos, but I don't think, there's a lot going on in the shop, compressor going on and off, people walking in and out, people eating the lunch, moving, lift going up and down. So it was not I mean, the fact that he was able to do this video without all that noise, good for him.
Slight correction, I haven't suffered IMS failure per se.
He's talking about IMS failure, which is again is specific to the Boxer engine on the Porsches. But again, I think this is a great video. You can see all the engine components, right? Like I bet you this is like one, two, three, a couple different engines and all the parts just stacked up neatly. And that's what you also looking for in a shop, that they do everything organized and take their time. You don't want to go to a shop that's just trying to get you in and out quickly. It's just I'm not saying those shops can do or can build a good engine. Of course, maybe they can. I don't know, but I will go to a shop that specifies, they're specific in your application, or they understand an enthusiast point of view of, I want to be around. I want to build it this way. I want to build it that way. I want to make it into a race car. I want it to rev to 12,000 RPM. No, I'm gonna daily it. I'm never gonna rev it past six. Or you want to have those shops that understand that, and also to accommodate you to come and sometime look at it, because we all want to look at the engine. We want to see the car when you take off the engine. Um, in his specific car, he's not done yet. He's probably gonna release another video at some point in the end of the year when the car is complete. I don't know. It takes a while. That's another thing. It takes a while. This work is probably gonna take a day from the shop, like that. Multiple people gonna work on that car, and it's gonna take them a while to take it apart. And putting it back together is also precision work. So it's not going to take another day. It's probably going to take longer. And then ordering parts, because you can just order parts blindly. What kind of piston would you get? You got to get them, measure everything up, So that's going to take also time. So that's why having a shop that works with you is very important. And to me, in conclusion, I really think this is awesome. This whole experience is fantastic. I like it. I enjoyed. Of course, I would enjoy it if it was my daily. I need the car immediately. That would be a nightmare. But this is for a hobby car, a fun car. I love it. Um, you know, eh, Looking at new cars, the cost of them. Would you spend 100K or 90,000 on a brand new car, or would you get a car like this and fix it, and probably in conclusion probably spend 30, 40,000? Would you do that? I would. I think it's awesome. I mean, I'll build it from scratch, and I like getting a car that's, I don't know. When I get like a sleeper car, a car that you don't know. What if you don't know what a sleeper is? Just a car that it's like a slow car. This is like an old car, but all of a sudden it performs like a modern car. I like that. I don't know. I think, let me know what you think in comments below. You think this is a waste of time, a waste of money? You could have just gotten a car that works and didn't have to do all this, all this hassle. Mind you, he's going to build it to a 4.1 liter engine, so it's not going to retain its original displacement of 3.6 or something. So it's going to be, it's going to give him way more torque, and he's going to do different heads, so it's going to give him more, more rev band, more horsepower at the top end. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. You think this is a waste of time? I know I never want to go step in the shop again. It's a lot of headache. Or you're like, no, I enjoy this. Let me know. I personally like it. Anyway, as always, take care, and I'll see you next time. And yeah, I'll make another video probably when he makes another, when he makes the second part of this video. I'll make another one. All right, take care, everybody. See ya. Bye bye.